Hello, everybody. I wanted to come on today and talk about something that I feel it's very important to discuss. Because it's somewhat of an emotional subject, I'm just going to kind of let it roll and let it rip. And you may notice some edits here and there, and that's just because, I just want to get the message across clearly and in a manner that's not necessarily impeded by emotion, right? And I want to talk today about astrology. And you may be going, well, what's different about today's discussion than any other discussion? Okay, well, I'm going to get there, right? So let's talk about a concept, which is this concept of consciousness, which is, we're all incarnated here on the planet. We know we're here, right? So we're all trying to understand, or at least some of us are, the source from which we came, right? With astrology, we have an excellent system by which we can do that. But one of the problems with existing here on Turtle Island, as it's sometimes called, or planet Earth as it's also known, is the moment that we try to understand something that's limitless, is the moment that we limit our understanding, right? It's not rocket science to figure that out, okay? In addition to that, the moment that we give our opinion on something that is limitless, and what is that limitless? Well, some people call it God, some people call it the universe, whatever it is, right? Well, if you're a spiritual person like myself, you would, kind of believe most likely that, God pervades all things, okay? So if God is too broad of a concept to fit into one particular understanding, well, then it would only stand to reason that our understanding of God is limited, okay? And that sounds kind of simple and stupid, but we're getting to the point that I'm wanting to express here, right? So if our understanding of God is limited, and if we have astrology, which can give us a close glimpse of understanding who we are as individuals and understanding at least a small portion of God's will, doesn't it also stand to reason that our understanding of astrology is limited? And I think you might understand where this is going next. So lately, I've seen the age-old arguments coming into existence in terms of which zodiac is the correct zodiac to use. And I'm witnessing, again, division beginning to take place in the astrological community. And I wanted to come out and give my stance on this whole subject, right? And I'll tell you my stance on this whole subject, which is that we should all be united in the brotherhood of astrology, rather than taking divisional stances against each other, rather than calling each other out in public forums and insulting each other, rather than coming out and saying, my way is right and it says it in such and such text, and so therefore anybody else who doesn't hold this opinion is wrong, regardless of which side of that fence you sit on. My opinion, and so I'm going to go rubber stamp, this is my opinion, right, is that the moment we do that, the moment we go, I'm right, you're wrong, right? That's when we begin to limit astrology, which is something which gives us at least a small opportunity to get a small glimpse at something that's much greater than we are. So if that something is much greater than we are, and that something has given us a science called astrology, doesn't it also stand to reason that astrology is something that's much greater than what we are? And if astrology is much greater than what we are, and if we only know a limited scope of it because, perhaps the source of astrology has been lost and we can only guess about it, well, then we're wandering around in ignorance. And if I'm wandering around in ignorance, what good is it going to do for me to call someone else ignorant or call someone else wrong, right? It's not going to do any good at all. We can all learn from each other in this, great learning school of consciousness, and we can all learn from each other in this great learning school of astrology too. So there's no need to call each other out. There's no need to get defensive about anything. There's only a need to understand that, in my opinion, and sure, you will have a different opinion, and you very much may. I respect that. I will still talk to you. I will still connect with you. I'm not going to get standoffish because of your opinion. Because my take on the whole matter is, what if we could, beyond the shadow of a doubt, go, this system of astrology is the correct system of astrology and everybody else is wrong? What are we going to do with those people that we deem to be wrong? Are we going to make them outcasts? Are we going to shut them out? Right? Are we going to label them heretics? Most likely not. I would like to think so. But, even if we were to determine this is right and everything else is wrong, you're making astrology a religion. Okay? And religion comes from the Latin word religare, which from my understanding means to look back. And on a certain level, religion is something that's created by humans to understand something that's limitless, because our limited human minds cannot comprehend the vastness of the universe, right? So on that level, in a positive sense of the word, maybe astrology is a religion. But the moment we begin to create division, in astrology, right? The moment we begin to say, this way is right, everything else is wrong, that's the moment we shut out God. That's the moment we shut out the universe. That's the moment that we profane a science and an art that is absolutely sacred. So please, my fellow brothers and sisters, let's just stop this stupid bickering over zodiacs and who should use what and what's right and what's wrong. And let's join together in a state of unity, because that would really be much more helpful than the alternative. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Bye now.